The AKASO 220 Seamor versus the SiOnyx Aurora Pro and the SiOnyx Aurora Pro Illuminator. A head-to-head comparison coming up next on Encounters USA. Hello everyone, and welcome to Encounters USA. Today we're going to be running down to Ocean Shores, where we're going to do a product comparison between this AKASO 220 Seamor and this SiOnyx Aurora Pro with an illuminator. Now let me give you a little bit of backstory on this SiOnyx Aurora Pro illuminator and the illuminator, sorry. I purchased this over a year and a half ago, and I've had it in the field a few times, and I just want you to know that I will not endorse or recommend a product that I take out to the field that does not work correctly. And if it doesn't work correctly, I'm definitely going to let you know. So that's one reason you want to subscribe and stay tuned to this channel, is that if you're out in the field and you're using technology and equipment, you're going to want to know what actually works and what doesn't. So a little backstory on this SiOnyx Aurora Pro is that if you've seen my reviews of it and my unboxing, etc., you know that this does not work so well without this. Now, if you're in extreme dark conditions, this will not work. This requires some kind of ambient light. If you're looking at stars, this is great because stars have light. But if you're just out in the woods with no light, this is not going to help you unless you have this. And if you have this, your vision is still going to be limited to maybe 20, 30 yards. So the trail cam, and hopefully it is armed and going. And I couldn't do it while I was holding this, but get one more shot of our bait. And now let's head back. I went out, and well, before I get even farther into that, let me just explain that I was out filming my Missing 911 movie over in the Olympic National Park, or near the Olympic National Park, and I went to use this at night to put up a trail camera, and this would not work. And so I was very upset, obviously, and I contacted SiOnyx, and with no questions asked, they sent me a new one of these. Now, what I was not doing that I didn't know was I was not charging the battery that goes in here. I'll just show you. I've got the battery in the box right now, but I was not charging the battery correctly. So when I took it out, I was obviously using a dead battery, but SiOnyx replaced the illuminator, no questions asked. They sent me a new one, said, here you go. So I thought that was really cool of them. Now, the next thing that I want you to know is that I like the SiOnyx Aurora Pro because of this feature. You can use the Wi-Fi on this and connect it to like an iPad or a laptop. When you're in the field, if you have Wi-Fi somewhere, then in theory, you should be able to connect this camera to your, using the Wi-Fi on your control knob here, you can connect this camera to your iPad or laptop when you're in the field.
Other pathways and other type, source type information, and accessing, you know, outside of time and space to be able to move around and to go see things and other things like that.
So why do you want to do that?
Well, that's the whole point.
Now what you're going to see is that I had a real big problem trying to do this. And one thing I don't want you to do is go out into the woods or do your research and use some equipment I've recommended and then find out that stuff doesn't work at all. So I just want you to see my test. You can come to your own conclusions, but this is what I found comparing the SiOnyx Aurora Pro with the illuminator, and I compared this to the AKASO 220 Seamor. So let's go down to Ocean Shores and have a look. All right, you guys, so as I said, we're going to do our test now. Let me just explain to you the conditions. We are out at Ocean Shores. It is dark, it is raining, about 50-mile-an-hour wind. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stay in the cab of the paranormal pickup, and I'm going to conduct the test. I'm going to start off with the SiOnyx Aurora Pro with the illuminator, and then I'm going to switch over to the AKASO 2020 or whatever it is. So anyway, I'll show you the comparisons. So anyway, if you're not familiar with it, this is the Aurora Pro with the illuminator attached. Get the illuminator if you're going to get the Aurora Pro. And then let's get started with the test with the SiOnyx Aurora Pro. All right, so this is the SiOnyx Aurora Pro, and it is about a sliver of moonlight. And what you're looking at right there is the Pacific Ocean. So let's go ahead and turn on our... We turned on our illuminator, and I just want you guys to notice that here with the illuminator off, and I'm just looking at my dashboard right now. Ahead of us is, of course, the tide. But as I turn the illuminator on, I just want you guys to understand that this is what this thing does, but it has a limited distance capability. See, off, and not much there. On, and you can see, but you know, maybe a few dozen yards, not terribly lot. All right, so there's our that is our SiOnyx Aurora Pro test, and that's illuminator off. And now let's do one more test. All right, sorry about the low light conditions, but I just want you guys to see that I am trying to pair this, my SiOnyx, I'm trying to pair this to my laptop, and that way I can record directly off the laptop. But right now I do not see I am not able to make a connection, and I'm just sitting here spinning around and around. But I just want you guys to see that this is a capability, but sometimes it works. It really connects with it really depends on the Wi-Fi connection, and I've got a hotspot, so it should be connecting, but it doesn't appear to be doing it, so I might just have to move on to the next test. All right, so I have done just about everything I could to get this SiOnyx to work. You see what it does, and there's just no way. It keeps asking me for a password to even connect it. So one of the things that is cool about this is that it can record right off of a laptop or a phone, whatever, but it kept asking me for a password so it had a thing in the thing to, you know, on the little screen. So I put that in and nothing happened. So I did that a couple times. So I wasted like half an hour just trying to show you what this thing can do. I'm not real happy with it, so I just hope that this Xana 220 or whatever it is, I hope this does a better job of doing whatever it's supposed to do, because this SiOnyx, I'm not really impressed with it. I just have to say that. So as I said, right now what I'm doing is I'm going to look straight ahead. I've got a little bit of starlight, I've got a little bit of moonlight, and I really was hoping to have completely dark conditions, but this is, you know, the best I can do. So let's see how this works. So here's what the Xana looks like. All right, so this is the Xana, whatever, 220, whatever it is. So as you can see, we've got a car over there, but I just want to show you that in just these limited light conditions compared to the Psionics is just really, there's no comparison to this. All right, so we got the last trail camera up, and over here. So this is the beach. That's a boat out on the water, and this is the beach line, and we got a car over there, so that's kind of screwing up the lights. Now, very quickly, I'm just going to step outside, so get ready for this. So there you have it. There is the results. To be quite honest with you, I still, to this point, do not know how to focus this thing. I'm going to try to figure that out. I'm going to try to figure out if that was possible. But when I was down testing this, I sat there and I turned my focus knob, whatever, and nothing really seemed to happen. So I need to do a little bit more research. But you can clearly see that if you're going to go out and look for stuff in the woods, unless it's going to be right up close to you, which probably is not recommended, you're not going to see it with this. You are probably going to be more likely to see it with this, but I need to do a little bit more field testing to find out why this thing doesn't focus. So once I get that figured out, I'll do another field test and another review of this Akaso. So that's my test of the SiOnyx Aurora Pro versus the Akaso. What do you think? Which one would you buy? Are you going to buy them? Which one and why? Leave your comments in the comment section. And remember, if you're out looking for stuff at night and you're using night vision, remember, you're looking at the front, right? So always watch your back.